Today, I'll show you how to do your Bitrue crypto taxes. Hello, my name is Nelly. Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Bitrue, and this is a bit of a redo video because a lot of things have changed and we needed to update it. So I'll tell you a little bit about this exchange, then I'll jump into the new integration, and then lastly, I'll show you where to get the necessary tax documentation. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, I'll leave a bunch of different resources for you to look at. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into Bitrue. So this platform was founded in 2018 and it's based out of Singapore. They have a lot of different features from your standard spot trading to more complex stuff like farming, loans, and even futures. For users looking to earn a little bit of passive income, they have a feature called Piggy Power, which allows staking of various popular cryptos. Currently, it's actually a top 50 exchange by trading volume, so a very impressive platform. Anyways, that's enough about them. Let's jump on into the integrations. Firstly, log into your Koinly account. If you don't have one, make one. It's completely free. Follow along until you'd like to purchase a paid plan. So once you're in your wallets area, click on Add Wallet. We're gonna type in Bitrue, and there it is. So there's two different options. I'll talk a little bit about both. First off, starting off with the setup auto sync option. So some things to note here, we do have some limitations mostly on their end. So interest and rewards from the earn program are not provided by the API. So you can still use the API, but then import this data with CSV files. Obviously, I'll show you how you would do that. And then we have probably things that not a lot of users are going to be doing, but it's very possible that you are. BTR dust conversions are not provided by the API. Futures are not provided by the API either. So two things there. Firstly, unfortunate those aren't provided. Secondly, they actually don't even have CSV files for those two things. So if you are one of the, let's say, few people that is actually working with futures or BTR, you will have to import those manually, and I've made videos on how to create your own CSV files. But we're looking for the API key and we're looking for the API secret. Firstly, we're gonna go into Bitrue, and in the top right corner there is a little profile icon. From that, we're gonna click API. Their platform, it can be a bit slow at times, but don't worry. So we'll give it a name. We'll call it something like Koinly, and we'll click create API key. Make sure to have your two-factor authentication set up, unlike me, which I forgot to do that, so I'll do that right now. So once you've gone through all that authentication stuff, here is your API key and your API secret. So make sure to copy and paste those into Koinly. There it is. So one more thing to note here, it's already set properly. The permission is only set to read only because that's what we're interested in. Koinly is not interested in any of these other things like touching or moving your funds. However, one small thing you need to deselect, I guess here, or I guess select a different option, is not limited to any IP. So if you don't do this, we'll have trouble with the API keys and they'll kind of be useless. So make sure to select not limited to any IP and then click save settings. And obviously, again, you'll be asked to enter your authentication code. So do that and click confirm. And once that is done, your key is ready to go. It's officially launched. You can go back into Koinly and click secure import. Now I was saying that when you go down this route, you're gonna actually be limited with the interest and rewards from your earn program. So if you are using the API and you'd like to add the CSV file just for this thing, you can definitely do that. So let's go back into Bitrue. Actually, we don't even have to do that. We can go back into this section where our Bitrue transactions are, click import from file, and then we can add that file that specifically has those missing transactions. So going back into the platform, specifically looking for that file that would have those missing transactions that would be accompanied with the API. In the top right corner, you have a little tab that says assets. We're gonna click on overview. And then in the top right corner of this page, we have export asset transaction history. And here we are presented with a bunch of different CSV files. So quickly, just going back to, if you're only looking for the earn file, this would be the bonuses, and then you would select a time frame. As you can see, it's only 3 months max, so you might need to get a few of these files to cover your entire transaction history. Or if you've been using this platform for many years, you're gonna need a dozen files, making sure you get every single transaction imported in Koinly. And I know this is tedious, but the reason Koinly needs this is to be able to calculate your capital gains and losses. So you would take that file, drag and drop it in Koinly, and you're done. So that's one route you can take, that API file, that API key along with that file, which covers those transactions which are not covered by the API. Alternatively, if you'd like to go just flat out CSV files, no problem, you can do that as well. You would go to this section that where we were before. So assets, overview, top right corner, export asset transaction history, and then the files that you would need. Obviously, depending on what you're dealing with, maybe some of you are not dealing with loans, so you don't need a loan file. That's perfectly understandable. But you have the deposits file, the withdrawals file, the bonus file. You can skip over order history. That's not needed. You have the loans file, and then the trade history. The reason you don't need the order history file is because it's actually included in the trade history. So you would export those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files maximum. I'm assuming you're also dealing with loans, which I don't know how many people are going to be doing that. So that's 5 different sets of files. Now, once again, keep in mind that it's only a 3-month history for each of those. So if you're doing 1 year, you would need 4 files for each. If you're doing multiple years, you can see how that can kind of get out of hand quickly. But if you'd like to go down this route, you can. I still think the API option is a lot quicker and a lot easier. It's also, harder to mess up if you're using the API, as opposed to this where you have so many different files that you're dealing with. But regardless, if you'd like to go down that route, take those files, drag them and drop them into Koinly, click import, and there you have it. So once that data is imported, regardless of which route you took, go into the transactions area to see underneath the hood of what's going on, making sure you've tagged all your staking transactions correctly. So sent to pool, sent from pool, and stuff like that. Obviously, there's other things you can double check here, but Koinly has already done the most difficult part, which is calculated all your capital gains and losses, which are now going to be shown in the tax reports area. Here is a summary of all that activity that you can look at, and you can kind of look at it throughout the year to see where your crypto taxes are going to end up. And once you're happy with that, scroll down and select a tax report appropriate for your needs. And we have plenty of different tax reports, starting off with the US with the IRS Schedule D Form 8949. You can also export to TurboTax both online and desktop versions. We have reports for UK, Sweden, Norway, France, Australia, and then Canada, Germany, other countries. We have the complete tax report, which you can keep in mind is a document you give directly to an accountant and they combine it with your other tax documentation to submit. Or alternatively, you can invite them to Koinly to set up their accountancy firm here with us. And then lastly, what I tell everyone is check your country's rules and regulations, because this tax report might be deductible. But that'll do it for today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you need further assistance, I'm going to leave a bunch of different resources. So in the description down below, we have the Koinly Help Center with countless different crypto tax related articles. We have a forum section where you talk to members of our community as well as our staff. We have a feedback section if you're having any issues with our software. And then lastly, we have a contact section. You can send us a message directly and we'd love to help you out. But I do hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, consider dropping a like, subscribing for more content like this, and I'll see you next time. Peace.